Good morning, everybody from sunny Florida, where it is a balmy 86
Hmm.
on its way to a very cool 89 today. Ooh, a cold front's coming through. Woohoo!
We always go with my son Greg's birthday is when fall arrives because the week after he was born, all I had for him was newborn little onesie outfits, and it was almost freezing. So I had to bundle him in a multiple sweaters and blankets and
Aw,
stuff to bring him
poor
home.
baby. That's funny.
But it's like as soon as Greg's birthday comes, the weather just turns cool. Not
Oh,
not real cold usually, but cooler
right.
than 95.
Yeah. Well, our weather, as I said, our weather is perfectly normal for this time of year. So
Yeah,
we haven't experienced any extremes. This is normal hot for Florida. I mean, it's August,
yeah.
and I don't know how it can be August. I don't
Oh, I
know.
know.
It just has flown by. Well, ladies, I have Happy Mail and I guess a U-Haul. A U-Haul. No, it's not a U-Haul. That's no. It's not. I've never. I mean, a haul. That I have to open,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
have a passage from Robert Fulghum, and if everyone's, hey Nettie, good morning, nice to see you, and Dixie Doodle, so sweet to see you here, very nice, and so I'm going to read first, like I normally do, if that's okay with you folks.
That'd
Yep,
be
you can
fine.
make yourself bigger and put us off to the side.
Well, no, it's not very. Oh, I should make you two bigger because it's not very interesting to watch me read a book.
Well, just don't forget when you go to share your haul, make you bigger.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing to remember. Yes. Good point. Now, how can I? Let's see.
The big one with the two little ones off to the side.
Thank you. The big one. Well, that kind of works, right? No, I want. Okay, let's see this.
There you
There
are.
you go.
Is that right? Is that what you want?
That's good.
Yeah, well,
Well,
that's
I don't think you want
that
to
way.
watch me read.
Then yeah, but then you can go right into your haul and you're all good to go.
All right, and then I won't forget. This is true. This is true. I feel like this is funny. I don't know. Has anybody ever watched the character? Hi, Miss Lena. Um, have you ever watched Nashua? Good morning. And Angie, there's Angie. I'm glad you're out and about. Northern Exposure. Does anybody remember the TV show Northern Exposure?
I remember it. Yeah.
Well, there was a character by the name of Chris, and he ran the radio station that was owned by Maurice, who owned the town. Maurice was a retired astronaut, and he bought Sicily, Alaska. He bought the town. So he's kind of like, thinks he's all that. And Chris would be reading late at night on his radio station. So I feel like Chris reading late at night on his radio station. And even though I'm not Chris and I'm not in Alaska, it's kind of this, yeah, you kind of get it. I guess you had to be there. Good morning, Rose and Gail. All right. Greek philosophy lives, scrawled in English on a doorway in Plaka, the ancient marketplace tucked between the great stone walls of the Acropolis, the heart of Athens. It's true, they are still at it, the Greeks. Philosophy is not entombed forever in 4 BC or buried in a college textbooks to burden sophomores. It lives as surely as the Greeks themselves live. The winning brand is pragmatism, from pragma, deed. This is the philosophical doctrine that tests of the truth of propositions is their practical results. Never mind what you say or think, what you do and how it works out. That's what counts. You can read all about pragmatism in the philosophy books, or you can just watch the Greeks go about their business. The stories that follow come from watching. At the airport in China, on the west end of the island of Crete, an Olympia Airlines 727 disengorged 100 yelling passengers into the crowded terminal. Bedlam, fists and voices raised, women weeping, children wailing. 2 passengers leap over a counter to take a punch at the attendant. Police arrive, whistles shrieking, billy clubs in hand. Explanation? The passengers were all destined for I looked this up, Herakon, at the other end of the island, where indeed their luggage had gone by another plane. For reasons unknown, their plane has landed at the wrong city and left the passengers to a hard ride by bus 150 miles to their destination. The passengers want blood. The passengers declare they will commandeer a plane. What the passengers think of those responsible cannot be printed here, but it's pretty harsh and involves parenthood and birth of those who run Olympia Airlines and where they may spend eternity. One passenger, a stout, well-dressed German tourist who has been pacing in small circles at the edge of the chaos, suddenly begins to shout alternately in German and in English. Why am I here? Where am I going? What must I do? What will become of me? Gott im Himmel, which means God in heaven. Help me. His desperate cry is so forceful that the crowd quiets and turns to look at him with concern, as they would consider a mad dog in their midst. The airline station manager replies in English across the crowd, Sir, these are very old questions. We Greeks have been working on them for 2,000 years, and they are not easy to answer. Not now, not then, not now. In the meantime, we will do our best for you. The gods will not be put off much help, but Olympia Airlines will see that you get to Herakon. Please get on the bus. The crowd applauds. The passengers file out into the bus, which roars off towards Herakon, leaving the German tourist limp, still muttering questions and demanding reasonable answers. That afternoon, in a sidewalk cafe on the seafront esplanade of Sora, I overheard 2 young Americans arguing over whether human beings were basically bad or basically good. Law students they were, first year. One pointed to his glass of wine and sagely insisted that this question was like whether his wine glass was half full or half empty, a matter of words and opinion. His companion disagreed. Not so, not so. The precise amount of wine in the glass can be determined with scientific tools, and the definition of a full and an empty can be agreed upon. That old cliche can be laid to rest. He motioned for the waiter and asked for 2 empty glasses and something to measure with. Science would provide an answer here, just as sound thinking would resolve the larger issue of human nature. The waiter, an old Greek man of solemn years, asked the purpose of the request, and all was explained to him. The waiter looked at the 2 young men, then at the glass of wine to be tested for truth. He smiled, picked up the glass of wine, held it to his nose to smell the aroma, lifted it in a wordless toast to each of the young travelers, and drank it down with relish. He smiled and walked away. Pragmatism. A time to shout and a time to get on the bus, a time to debate and a time to drink the wine. Far to the south and west of Athens, on the rocky coast of the Peloponnesian Peninsula, is the village of Stupa Lefkon. Though not on a standard travel mark, it is an important place where Nikos Kazantzakis, I'm screwing that up, wrote his novel Zorba. Maybe some of you are familiar with Zorba, the Greek, great movie. The greatest modern expression of Greek pragmatism. Stupa Lefkon had a divided name since Turkish occupation before 1883, and is divided today into about 35 different political parties, which means there are 35 men in the village who can vote. The village is united on 2 fronts, however. First is a burning desire to make as much money out of the tourists as possible in July and August. The other common bond is religion, Greek Orthodox. It would be easy, one might think, for economics and religion to come into conflict during tourist season, when who has the time to spend Sunday morning in church when everybody is working the cafes and craft shops and restaurants to get the last drachma out of the tour bus travelers? No problem. In the early morning quiet, Father Marsalis has set up a tape deck and speakers in the church courtyard on the hill above the village, and he is broadcasting the service to the village as he sits in his chair taking coffee brought up to him from one of the cafes. The Mass is 3 hours long, and it is always the same, and everybody knows it by heart, so it is enough that they hear it and follow it in their hearts as they go about their business. From 9 until noon, the village is in church. Wherever they are, God is also there, Father Marcella explained to me, and whatever they are doing, God is with them. It is no problem to them, to me, or to God. And what if the bishop in Athens finds out about this? Who's going to tell him? And if someone should, who knows? The idea may catch on. It is true that the village should be in church, and so it shall be when September comes. But for now, it is enough that the church is everywhere in the village. It is not the same, after all. Speaking of religion, have you ever had a Greek coffee? Only a few non-Greeks have had more than a couple of cups at one time and lived to talk about it. But if you are a serious coffee drinker and you don't mind being wide awake for 48 hours and your health insurance is paid up and you don't mind your tongue and teeth tasting like the bottom of a bird cage and you're used to massive heartburn, then you will just love Greek coffee. My first cup was at a fall bazaar at St. Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church in Seattle. Compliments of Constanza Gregogopoulos, somebody's 84-year-old grandmother visiting from Athens. When she tasted the coffee the church was serving, she raised a ruckus, said that proper Greek coffee must be served or else. So there she was that afternoon, dressed all in black, surrounded by brass pots and hot plates and roasted coffee beans, also black. Like a sorceress, she bent over her work, muttering to her interpreter, I like a cup of coffee now, say I. She says, you must wait. I ask her why. She says, Americans always want everything now, and getting everything now is not always good. She says, God took 7 days to make the world, and it was good because he took his time and wasn't in a hurry. She says that Constanza Gregogopoulos, takes exactly 7 minutes to make coffee in the spirit of God. She says you will wait and you will make and you will drink and you will like. Yes, ma'am, says I. And I did. She did. And I did. And I really did. Is good, yes, she bellows in my ear. Yes, ma'am, says I. She says to learn to wait and God will bless you more often and you will live to be old and happy. The old lady laughed a toothless laugh and pinched my cheek in that affectionate way shown to fools who still may find wisdom. Are there any questions? An offer that comes out at the end of a college lecture or long meetings, said when an audience is not only overdosed with information, but when there is no time left anymore. At times like that, you sure to have questions like, can we leave now? And what the hell was this meeting for? And where can I get a drink? The gesture is supposed to indicate openness on the part of the speaker, I suppose. But in fact, you do ask a question. Both the speaker and the audience will give you drop-dead looks. And some fool, some earnest idiot always asks, and the speaker always answers by repeating most of what he has already said. That is so true. Oh my God, faculty meetings. But if there is a little time left and there is a little silence in response to the invitation, I usually ask the most important question of all. What is the meaning of life? You never know. Somebody may have the answer. And I'd really hate to miss it because I was too socially inhibited to ask. But when I ask, it's usually taken as a kind of absurdist move. People laugh and nod and gather up the stuff, and the meeting is dismissed on that ridiculous note. Once and only once I asked that question and got a serious answer, one that is still with me. First, I must tell you where this happened because the place has power of its own. In Greece again, near the village of Gonia on the rocky bay of the island of Crete, sits a Greek Orthodox monastery. Alongside it, on land donated by the monastery, is an institute dedicated to human understanding and peace, and especially to rapprochement between Germans and Cretans, an improbable task given the bitter residue of wartime. This site is important because it overlooks the small airstrip at Milani where Nazi paratroopers invaded Crete and were attacked by peasants wielding chicken knives and haysacks. The retribution was terrible. The population of the whole villages were lined up and shot for assaulting Hitler's finest troops. High above the Institute is a cemetery where a single cross marking the mass grave of the Cretan partisans. And across the bay on yet another hill is the regimental burial ground of the Nazi paratroopers. The memorials are so placed that all might see and never forget. Hate was the only weapon the Cretans had at the end, and it was a weapon many vowed never to give up. Never, ever. Against this heavy curtain of history, in this place, when the stone of hatred is hard and thick, the existence of an institute devoted to healing the wounds of war is a fragile paradox. How has it come to be? The answer is a man, Alexander Papadakis, a doctor of philosophy, teacher, politician, resident of Athens, but a son of this soil. At war's end, he came to believe that the Germans and the Cretans had much to give one another, much to learn from one another, that they had an example to set, for if they could forgive each other and construct a creative relationship, then any people could. To make a lovely story short, Papadakis succeeded. The Institute became a reality, a conference ground on the site of horror. It was now, in fact, a source of productive interaction between the two countries. Books have been written on the dreams that were realized, but what people gave to people in this place. By the time I came to the Institute for a summer session, Alexander Papadakis had become a living legend. One might look at him and you saw his strength and his intensity, energy, physical power, courage, intelligence, passion, vivacity radiated from his person. And to speak to him, to shake his hand, to be in the room with him when he spoke was to experience his extraordinary electric humanity. Few men live up to their reputations. When you get close, Alexander Papadakis was an exception. At the last session, on the last morning of the 2-week seminar on Greek culture, led by intellectuals and experts in their fields who were recruited by Papadakis from across Greece, Papadakis rose from his chair at the back of the room, walked to the front where he stood in the bright Greek sunlight of an open window and looked out. We followed his gaze across the bay to the iron cross marking the German cemetery. He turned and made the ritual gesture. Are there any questions? Quiet quilted the room. These 2 weeks had generated enough questions for a lifetime, but for now there was only silence. No questions? Papadakis swept the room with his eyes. So I asked, Dr. Papadakis, what is the meaning of life? The usual laughter followed, and people stirred to go. Papadakis held up his hand and stilled the room and looked at me for a long time, asking with his eyes if I was serious, and seeing from my eyes that I was. I will answer your question. Taking his wallet out of his hip pocket, he fished out a leather billfold and brought out a very small round mirror about the size of a quarter. And what he said went like this. When I was a small child during the war, we were very poor and we lived in a remote village. One day on the road, I found the broken pieces of a mirror. A German motorcycle had been wrecked in that place. I tried to find all the pieces and put them together, but it was not possible. So I kept only the largest piece, this one, and by scratching it on a stone, I made it round. I began to play with it as a toy and became fascinated by the fact that I could reflect light into dark places where the sun would never shine, in deep holes and crevices and dark closets. It became a game for me to get light into the most inaccessible places I could find. I kept the little mirror, and as I went about my growing up, I would take it out in idle moments and continue the challenge of the game. As I became a man, I grew to understand that this was not just a child's game, but a metaphor for what I might do with my life. I came to understand that I am not the light or the source of light, but light, truth, understanding, and knowledge is there, and it will only shine in many dark places if I reflect it. I am a fragment of a mirror whose whole design and shape I do not know. Nevertheless, with what I have, I can reflect light into the dark places of this world and into the black places in the hearts of men and change some things in some people. Perhaps others may see and do likewise. This is what I am about. This is the meaning of my life. And then he took his small mirror and, holding it carefully, caught the bright rays of the daylight streaming through the window and reflected them onto my face and onto my hands folded on the desk. Much of what I experienced in the way of information about Greek culture and history that summer is gone from memory, but in the wallet of my mind, I carry a small round mirror still. Are there any questions? So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, always interesting and thought-provoking. There's a about the Greek coffee. It's okay. Arlene's saying it's stout. I've never had Greek coffee. Thank you, Arlene. I've never had that.
Very
he
good
always-
story.
I'm sorry.
Very good story.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. So we can all shine a little light, right? So I have some happy mail to shine. Share, shine. And then we'll see what everybody's doing. Let me, I don't have to make myself big. I am big. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Allie. And thank you, Allie. Allison, it came, it arrived. And really, I looked at it, it was mailed on July 28th, which really isn't that bad, you know? Not that bad. And I have little kitty stamps. Thank you for the kitty stamps. I will recycle those. Now, you said there was another one too? I don't know where that one. Oh, this is the second one. All right. Oh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, see, now I have to sew. Been ignoring the sewing, and Carol did a neat stitch yesterday, and I've got another little piece of something else to sew. So now I will have to sew, and so thank you. If I can open it.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to just cut this here. I'll be very careful. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. I sees it. All right. Just a matter of seeing that little tab, and then you're all set to go. I've been using this clear plastic as the faux glass in my specimen slides, which I'll show you in a little. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, awesome! Thank you so much. I love the little bits. Look at this, isn't it? Trust your crazy ideas. Yes, so we can all come together and do this. Oh, look at this. This is cool trim. Can you see that? It's all kind of wrapped around, coiled. That's the word I'm looking for. Coiled. I think I have that autumn stamp punch. Well, thank you. Yeah, okay, I really. Oh, it is a lot, don't you? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. Well, I will look for the other. And look at this. Another hat. That's pretty material. I will be sewing. Oh, I love these little bits and pieces. Oh, look, clouds and rain. Thank you so much, Allie. It was so thoughtful of you. And to send a second one too. I'm afraid now that I may have gotten it and then just put it somewhere and then forgot to tell you. So that's not impossible. That's not an impossibility. So I will scour. Was there material in it too? I don't know if there was material in it. I may have put it where the material is, where I have a cedar trunk where I keep my material, my sewing stuff. I'll have to go look at that. Go take another look for it.
I know that in my package from Allie, I received one of the little hearts that we did on the pins.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
So you may have gotten one of those as well, because I think somebody else got one from Allie that had a heart in it.
Okay, that's what Allison says. Yes, there was material in it. So then if I got it, then I have a good idea where I can look for it. Because I only put all that material sewing stuff in one place. Kind of in one place. I'll take a look. Okay. All right. All right. So I was at Keisha's, I guess, 2 weeks ago. And I got carried away. I even got more carried away at Maddie's, but I was hoping Maddie's stuff would come, but it didn't. So you'll have to wait for that. But so let's see if I can lift it. I haven't even opened it, folks. It's big. It's pink. And I think I have 2 boxes. I think I have a mystery box, and she's got, I don't know. Anyway.
She wraps everything so good.
Yeah. And I didn't buy any. Well, I take that back. I was at Maddie's yesterday, and I bought some stuff. I won some stuff too. And then Nettie, you have to go when you go over to Maddie's. You have to be very careful because it really is a den of thieves over there. They try to steal. I mean, you legitimately win something in a game, and then the next thing you know, everyone's typing in steal. Even Nettie, sweet Nettie, was trying to steal my stuff. It's pretty, but I ended up getting a better thing. I do remember buying this. This is that nice, thin yarn. No, it's not yarn. Is it string, thread, cotton thread? What?
Yeah, it's thread. Yeah.
People can crochet with this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How tiny of a needle would you use?
About a 1.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. I guess the one good thing about her billing, where she only, ships once a month, or at least I forget what I bought, so it's like Christmas all over again. Oh, wow. I really had a field day.
And I usually take notes, but I didn't this time. So it was like I bought buttons. Really?
I bought buttons. I bought buttons, but I don't have any buttons. So I bought buttons, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really packed. And I guess she had some boxes that got wet, but I guess it's the boxes that she boxes stuff.
Oh. It looks like you got a die. I
did.
That's cool. I didn't see those. She must have showed those when I wasn't there.
Yeah, I got a die. What die is it? It says Make a Wish. I must have won that because I wouldn't have bought that. I must have won that. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah. You did the Gemini? I won.
The little one.
I won on Defy a couple of years ago. That was the big prize that they raffled off.
Hi, Janet Nash.
And I won the Gemini.
Well, that's cool.
It's an electric, die thing, and it came with all sorts of dies and plates and everything, and it's really cool. Oh, I like the floor leaf clovers. And what is this? Christmas window cards. I don't know that. I can't imagine me buying that. That doesn't sound like me.
That would be real pretty though if you slid a piece of painty paper in there.
Yes. Good idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Mika.
Oh, hi everybody.
Mimi.
Hi, Janet and Mika. Mika's here. Hi, Mika. I don't. And there's the buttons. Yeah, I'm adding slowly to my button collection. And let's see. Thank you for your order. You're very welcome. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Debbie Mum bundle, 15 pieces. Oh, this is just little pieces of fabric. And it's like that African fabric.
It looks like it.
Yeah. I made those African like cloth dials in my dial. I can't talk dial book, and I've made some little notebooks and use this cloth as covers. So that's probably why I was inspired to buy that. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, and I think it's usually, is it? No, it's not printed on both sides. I love that. Oh look, chicken. All right, so this is the Market Mystery color box, and I don't remember what the color was, so that'll be a surprise to me. Oh my gosh. Oh, these are the boxes that she buys that got. Oh wow. Look at all the shiny stuff. Oh, well, duh, it's silver, no wonder.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. See, I didn't know it was silver. Wow. How cool is that?
What is this anniversary that's silver? Is that?
Is that 25th, I think?
Well, we're past that now.
Yeah, you're past. Oh, look at all the glitter. I'm glad that's wrapped up real tightly. And even comes with the spoon. I don't know whether that's the glue or snorted. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. Aw, okay. Very nice. Nice.
I'm going for refill.
Bobbles and bits. There'll be a challenge to use that. Now, Becky, you work. Did you start tearing a book apart? A paperback apart?
I did, but I'm stuck on the string closure pocket because there's no instructions here. So I have to go back and watch the video.
Okay. Well, I can probably show you real quick. I mean, if you want to really.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna
So
go
did you get your paperback at the Goodwill?
Yeah, they charge $1 for paperbacks that are Goodwill.
Oh wow! I haven't been in a while. They were $1, but
$2 for hardcover, no matter how big, and then $1 for soft cover. So,
how many pages is your paperback?
300 and something.
300 and something. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is this?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, these are punch outs. Ooh,
Very
cool. Let's see. I love these boxes. You know who would love these boxes? Mary.
She's been covering them with fabric, and they look really pretty.
Yeah, fabric and napkins the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's something I need to get is paper doilies. I'm out. I went looking, and all I got is.
Maddie she had a whole bunch of doilies, but there were little doilies. I like this color right here. Oh, this is the farm theme. Yes. That I'm going to love. Yes. Little farm stuff. Yes. That definitely is going to be a farm journal is in the making. Mine's going to have like a barn doors that open. I've got it. I've been kind of thinking about it. And I have some barn stuff. Oh, this will be fun. All righty. Oh, look at this. This
Oh,
is
look
nice.
at that pig.
Oh, that is
Maybe
adorable.
I should put some black spots on my pig on here. That's
Oh,
cute.
that would be pretty. Yeah. Spotted pig. That is cool. All righty. Well, I got some stuff to play with here. Keep me out of trouble. Yeah. Now I can stick everything back in the box, even the stuff that didn't come in the box. Yeah. That was fun. Okay. This is probably the last time we're going to see. Let me make everybody. Let's go around and see what everyone else is doing because let's see. Becky. There you were over there.
All right, I'm just putting some spots on my piggy wig.
And Becky's working on the zine. That's for the
Janet
zine
Young
swap.
swap.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll fold it up and do a little flip.
It looks so cute.
So I'm doing the owl and the pussycat.
Yeah. And she's done all of the illustrations herself. They're all originals, right?
Yep, hand drawn.
That looks so pretty.
And then I'm doing the pig. I mean, not pig. The turkey that marries them the next day.
Oh, okay.
See, they got the ring from the piggy wig out of his nose.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day they get married by the turkey that lives on the hill. And then they have to eat their mince and quince pie. And then they dance by the light of the moon. And then I'll be done.
Oh, wow. And it works out perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah,
I looked for something that was about the right length for eight pages.
Yeah. I wonder how many, I bet you, is that how many pages that were in the little book?
I don't think so. There's more pages in the little book.
Okay.
But this is my book from my childhood. It's also got a story about the calico pie in the back of it.
Never heard of that.
Let's see. Calico pie. See, look, it's got a calico tree. Calico pie, the little birds fly down to the calico tree. Their wings were blue and they sang Tilly-loo. Till away they flew. And they never came back to me. They never came back. They never came back. They never came back to me. And there's a little boy all sad because they flew away. Calico Jam, the little fish swam over the syllabub sea. He took off his hat to the sole and the sprat. And the Willoughby Watt, but he never came back to me. He never came back to me. He never came back. He never came back to me. Little girl was sad. Calico Band, the little mice ran to be ready in time for tea. Flippity flop, they drank it all up. Getting near the end, it's hard to turn pages. And danced in the cup. But they never came back to me. They never came back. They never came back. They never came back to me.
Oh.
Calico Drum, the grasshoppers come, the butterfly, beetle, and bee, over the ground, around and round, with a hop and a bound, but they never came back. They never came back. They never came back to me. And that's the end.
Oh my gosh, that does not have a happy ending. What's wrong with that?
These border on Grimm's
Weird.
fairy tales sometimes.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a happy ending.
Not that time.
Not that time. Carol.
And I got my order from Keisha in too, and I'm going to make that creepy owl after I finish my zine. So I'll show it. I'll
You want to show
that.
everybody the creepy owl?
Well, I can. Because I got work baskets, and in the back, there's this little owl.
It's creepy. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like an Ewok. That's what it looks like. It looks like an Ewok.
So I did my best to blow it up, but if I make it 1-inch squares, it might go off the page. So mine's going to be slightly smaller. So we'll see what luck I have.
It's the ears that are weird.
They're huge.
Well, you can make them smaller, right? You can make them.
Yeah, I could. I might make it to the pattern and then make one that's been adjusted. Maybe had plastic surgery to
Maybe you
it.
had earoplasty. Yeah. Carol, you ready to share?
Thank
You're
you.
muted.
There she is.
There you are.
I've just been stitching some books. I did the Coptic stitch.
Oh, yes. Show us all the little books that you've done.
And what's nice about the Coptic is it will lay flat.
Yeah.
I love that style of stitching.
Even though it leaves a little space in between, but it's probably because the linen is a little bit thicker. So yeah, I did that. And I'm ready to start stitching that one. And I'm trying to figure out what type of covers I'll be putting on them. Especially since I've been having issues with glue.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure if it's from the humidity.
It shouldn't be, though.
It's not drying. It's staying tacky. And it was yes paste. So you can see like I did this one yesterday. I did my stitching on here. So I put it into the cover. But the edges were not staying tight. So even on this one, I have this one all clamped down.
That is crazy. That won't stick to that watercolor paper. It should stick like you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was even this here part. I had to put a clear tape over the edge because it kept popping up. It just would not stay down, even though I put the glue on both sides.
I don't understand that. That is amazing because yes paste is really doesn't act that way.
So I don't know if clamping it and just leaving it sit for a week will help.
It shouldn't be that long, though. I wouldn't think. I don't know. I guess there are pastes or glues that are just used for books, but I don't know what they are.
Well, yes paste is for books.
It is, and it's acid free. I also have this one that is for bookmaking, but I thought, well, the yes paste is supposed to be good, so I thought I would use that one. But and the other thing I'm finding is with the yes paste is that if you do get it on the outside of anything, it stays sticky.
Yeah, it does.
Sticky. So I'm pretty much completed, with this book, and look, it's sticking. It's sticking because it got a little bit of yes paste on there.
Yeah,
so
PVA, Gail's saying, yeah.
But this book is completed, I would say.
Oh.
And this is that page that Becky was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Anne walked me through that one too. So.
Yeah, because there's no instructions for it on that sheet. It just says
no, there isn't. No, she doesn't because it's too complicated. But she shows you in the video. But I can show you real quick. It's not really that. I was watching one that she was doing this morning, and I was most interested. Oh, I love the frog.
I do too. And the bee.
He just jumps out of that page.
So
yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not bad. Like I've had that pressed for a while, but I'm thinking
I would not have guessed that.
It's just sad.
Malaya says yes. Oh, once you open the yes paste, it is guaranteed to get everywhere. This is true.
So I had a bigger book, and I had gotten it, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
2016, 17.
You still have the parts of the big book so they can see how big it is and what you did with it?
Yeah, I have it.
because that's, I did the same thing.
So these little books, all of these, the paper that I'm creating all of these little ones out of, let me just move them off to the side. That's my next one to stitch. Came out of this, Art Alternatives, and it's a 600-page hardback stitched bound book, but it weighs a ton.
Yeah.
It weighs a ton. So what I did was I took it apart. Took it apart. And I started taking pages. Oh my gosh. Luna, enough. I started taking pages out of it. So this is the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm getting a strip across here, which is making this size. And then I get a strip down here, which is making this size. And then I created 2 different sizes out of the rest of it. One was the Traveler's Notebook size, and the other one is this size.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. It's a lot of little books in
getting
there.
all of these little books that you can sketch, and it's really good with the fountain pens as well. So, so I'm compiling into multiple small books, so I don't have to carry around a huge book, which it's impossible. How do you get comfortable without having a desk?
Yeah.
You really need to have it on a desk. So
Yeah, I bought the same book. We found out, we were having this discussion last week, and I have the exact same book that Carol has, and I told her that I had taken it apart and to make a sketchbook out of it. But I
this is
didn't
all
make
again.
I didn't know, but I didn't make a bunch of. I only made one book, but I'm going to go back. I have to find a video, and I'll have to share it with you. I
It's
watched
95-pound paper.
Yeah.
So it is a really good paper.
Yep.
And these books now up here are running $50.
Wow.
Back then they weren't.
No, they weren't. I can't remember, but they weren't that much. Maybe 25, maybe.
Yeah, about somewhere about that. Well, 30 probably up here. But now you're lucky if you get them cheaper. And then it has a boo-boo down here. So
I actually did. I did some art in mine because I was showing it to Carol, and I've got some whole pages of Zentangles in it, and I took notes in it. I must have been taking an online class, so a couple of pages are like notes from a lecture. I got a whole bunch of stuff in mine, and it's much better cut up. I watched a woman who made 70. She made 70 sketchbooks in a week, and they show it. And they speed it up, but it's pretty amazing. And to watch how she bound all these books, various sizes of paper, it's pretty cool.
So I've just been keeping this block inside the cover just to protect the paper as I'm taking it apart. So it just sits in there. So
Are you gonna make more books the same size, using the same size format?
I'm gonna make I'd like to make a square one, like an 8x8. So I may cut some of that out first, and then whatever's left over will be the unique little size.
Yeah, the little ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing's going to waste.
That's
Nothing's
good.
going to waste.
And you can lift that.
Yeah. I can put it in a little box with my watercolors or my my pencil crayons or watercolor pencils or whatever.
That thing was heavy. It was
It still is heavy, and I've taken out a good ½ inch.
Yeah, that's about how much I've taken out. Yeah.
So I'm just using the cover to protect this now.
And then I bought another one, but not hard covered, a paperback one. That's 800 pages, numbered pages, and that's Dee Dee. Dee Dee did that.
Yeah, Dee Dee's good at that with these
Yeah.
journals.
Uh-huh.
I've seen her latest one. I really liked it, and it's like, oh, I really would like to have that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
how many can you have?
I know. Mitzi, technically, it's not watercolor paper. It wouldn't be. I think watercolor paper is 140.
Yeah, this is 95.
But
It
you can
should.
put water to it. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah,
couldn't just soak it.
I put water to everything.
Right.
I like a challenge, so I watercolor on everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, you had that magic encyclopedia paper
Yeah,
that you watercolored on. See,
yeah.
Gail, I've gone back to watered down PVA this weekend. Yeah, I've done a combination of that too for glue. You know, isn't PVA? Isn't that what Elmer's is? Or is PVA? Because I got a bunch of this. I got a whole bunch of this. But isn't Elmer's PVA?
This is a PVA, permanent PVA,
This is permanent too.
and it remains flexible.
Yep. And this says avoid skin contact. High quality, dry craft glue, ideal for collage and other. Yeah.
So don't be
Acid-free.
painting your hand to have weird skin peel off.
Yeah. So I usually,
do.
when I'm
I kinda
using
like
this
that.
one, I usually clamp my stitching, and then I will put a coating over the back side,
Okay, Gail. Uh-huh.
and that'll protect as well. But then,
What-
like it says, it stays flexible, so it'll be there. But I think I needed to use a smaller thread, more like
Now,
a
what's the name of that stitch? I always forget.
Coptic.
Coptic, right? Okay. I
It
first
kinda
learned that
knocks
from
it as you go.
yeah. You almost kind of get in a rhythm when you're doing it.
Yeah, but I like this stitch because when you open up the book, it does
Lays
lay
flat, and that's
flat.
what's perfect for sketching. If you're going to use it for sketching, it's perfect because it lays flat.
So that's what I've been doing.
She's a bookmaker.
Yes, lately. And
So we have Nick the bookmaker, and we have Carol the bookmaker.
so I took one of my pictures and turned it
Isn't
into
that cool,
cover.
folks?
That was yesterday.
That's gorgeous.
Didn't that come out great? I'd love it.
I have to do some more watercolors, I guess.
But that was a great use of it.
Yes, it was. So now, being that I'm not happy with Yes Paste, I have to figure out how to get this block. Luna,
Did we talk about? Do you have carpet tape?
I did. I don't know what I did with it at the moment.
Okay.
So I have to see if I can find some. And yeah, Elmer's does yellow.
Oh, okay. All right. So Elmer's is not the same as PVA.
This one doesn't yellow. Dries clear, remains flexible. Buffered for added protection. Not that I'm sure I know what that means, but shake
Well,
out.
apparently Maddie Spectrum Creations, Maddie and her husband have created their own glue that they sell. And
Really?
it's their own secret formula. So
So yeah, this is some of my paintings.
that looks, yeah, that's so cute.
It never found a home, so now it's a book.
Now it's a book. It's great. It looks perfect. I mean, it looks like that it was painted on the book. You know what I'm saying? It looks like that's where it was.
Meant
from
to
the
be.
very-
Meant to.
It
I wish I would have changed things just a little bit differently, and put him over on this side and had his tail come over this way.
you didn't know he was going to be a book car.
No, I did, but it came out pretty cool.
It did.
Same with my other book.
Yeah.
This was just background, and then I painted over it. Luna, lay down. I painted over it with the yellow. That's why it looks that
We
color.
just love those colors together.
And this is all inks,
Mhm.
inks and ink tints.
Okay. All right.
But
I just love those colors.
Anyway, back to you.
It's great. Well, I continue to work on this
We need your
monster, and the next time you guys will see it, it'll be completely done because
You need
this
to
will
put
be.
yourself up, Anne.
Oh, jeez, sorry.
There you are.
All right. So this was a paperback, and it was a paperback called The Artistic Anatomy of Trees, and people were upset that I was tearing it apart. And it has 550 illustrations of trees, but the illustrations were really not that good in my mind. In my opinion, they were black and white, not a single color illustration, black and white, and the black and white was very fuzzy and out of focus. So I figured this was the only paperback that I had, and that's what I tore apart. um, and I followed Ava, the Bohemian Crafting's plan, and I've posted. If you're interested in doing this, you will see the videos, all 3 videos, and the directions on how to gut a paperback, all on my Art Hangout page. So if you're interested in trying this, I'd never seen anybody alter a paperback book, and she alters a paperback book. I mean, with the thin paperback pages. And so I attempted it. And so this is how she makes these. Now, she had digitals that this was going to be pictures of Victorian ladies, but this ended up being kind of a nature journal because there's tree stuff. So I made these, in the video, she shows you how to make these these little frames. And this is that plastic paper that, people put packaging in. And, whoops. And Becky sent me some pigs and a napkin full of butterflies and stamped mushrooms on dictionary paper. So I'm starting to put the mushrooms in, and this is one of the butterflies off the napkin I took apart yesterday. So if you know anything about Ava, she's all about pockets. So there are pockets everywhere, and big pockets. And a tag, I made a tag here, and she likes a lot of flippy flops. So here's a flip, and here's one of the specimen cards I made. So this opens. She loves doing this kind, and I did like stitching. You open it this way, and then you open it this way, and then there's a place to write. And so she likes to do things like that. These are some pictures that came from one of Ava's digi downloads. So it's kind of nature, but kids and animals. And I made writing space here. And then she put envelopes in. So I threw in some envelopes, and I just did a little flippy flop here. These are more pictures. And then there's folders that she makes, and she shows you how to make them with the tabs. So there's 5 tabs, and she shows you how to make those in the video. And then she lined five pages. Like there's 5 sections in the book, so 5 sections. These are lined with that gold foil, and she shows you how to do that. And I wasn't going to do it. And then Amy was in here a couple of weeks ago, and I was bemoaning the fact that I didn't want to bother to do this. And Amy kind of just said to me, "Oh, come on, it's just glue." And she was right. I'm so embarrassed, but that's all it was. I just took glue stick, right? And then put down this foil. And I happened to have the foil, and I rubbed, peeled the foil back, and there was the gold. So this is and then I made these pages last week. I showed you how to make these. These are those faux vintage papers where you take a Post-it. I even have one of the Post-its left over. You tear up a Post-it and you stick it on like a piece of coffee dyed paper. And then you just take your, any script stamp and stamp it. And leave these masks in, and then when you pull them off, you have these little squares, and then you can stamp. I did this on birds, But Janet, this is for you. Are you there, Janet? Because Janet, this is upside down. I did that for you. I did that. I did that upside down. I put that stamp upside down. Or did I? No, maybe I didn't. Oh no, it's not upside down. I'll show you what I did, Janet, upside down, just for you. So this is the thing that you're talking about, Becky. So
Yes.
all you're going to do is, depending on, obviously it depends on how big your book is.
Yeah.
And you cut your, this is just, Timmy paper. And you cut it to maybe about 3/4 length of your page, however wide your page is.
Uh-huh.
And then you can taper the corners.
So you're adding paper on top. You're not using pages from in the book to create the pocket. It's additional paper. That's
correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct. She didn't use any of the torn out pages. This is where she used the torn out pages, is here, right here. You can see the tree here. She took and she folded the paper from the book that the paper that she tore out. She folded that in half and made pockets out of that and glued that on the page.
Okay.
So that's where she recycled that paper. And then this is another pocket made from the Timmy paper. And then it's glued over here, up here.
Okay. So she made like a little tab to go over the top.
Yeah. And then this was one whole piece. And then she just folded the top ½ inch of it.
Yeah. Like a tab.
A tab, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then she punched out, she made these things. This is a 3/4 inch punch. And then she made a little square thing to kind of reinforce that. And then same thing here, 3/4 inch. And what she did, I'd never seen anybody do this before. When she put the grommet in, she put the string in along with the grommet and then pressed the grommet down. So the string is then sealed inside the grommet.
That's a good idea.
So you don't have to tie it.
Okay.
And I'd never seen that done before. And that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how she did those. And of course, and then I started making tags and adding little jingle jangles and such.
And the base is 2 pages glued together.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. 2 pages glued together. That's in those instructions. That's what these instructions. Yep.
Yeah, that's the last thing it says. 2 pages together. And that's it.
And then you do the string closure. And then you take out another 7 pages and then you start all over again. Okay. And here's the gold.
Yeah, I did that part. That I kind of figured out.
Yeah. I think it's just seeing it, how it fits into the book, make it clear. And then I've got these little thingies that I got at Maddie's. So I got these little, and this is another one of the vintage papers that I made. Butterflies. I love this quote. It says, "Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterflies." I thought that was pretty cool. This is an embossed thing I did. And again, I'll probably cover this. And I've done a lot of, distressing with brown ink.
Yeah.
And
so the frame pages are tipped in. The ones with the frames.
Yes. They are tipped in. Exactly. Okay. Yep. They're tipped in.
Okay.
Here's some more. Here's another specimen slide thing, another flippy, flappy, like so. And really, if you wanted to, you could put another pocket here or a pocket here. Now, after this, you were supposed to have, this was folded, and then you had 2 pages here. After this one, I forgot to do this. So then I screwed up the rest of the book. So you'll see where I screwed up.
Oh.
It's no biggie. I mean, I've got And then here's another folder, another tab. And of course, this is, I don't know, I think that's upside down, but I'm not sure. And then here's another one of these, and another one of my vintage pages that I made. Tag. I don't think do I have a tag in here? Not yet, but I put one of your butterflies. I, cut that butterfly out of the napkin. And here again, here's that half a page from the book itself. Let's see. And that butterfly came out really good.
Yeah, it did. That is good.
And then that flips up. But I don't have the page that flips over because this one came. I like the way this one looks, just the plaid paper and cut out the chickadee, the bird. And then, so you see, I still have a lot to do, but I have a lot of ephemera to put in. And here's another folder and another thingy. And I decided to paint this. This is birch leaves, so I painted that, kept it in place. Here's another cute photograph from one of Ava's Digi downloads, and these little, and the photograph is made to look like this. I thought it was my printer, but no, that's the original. But they're holding this guy's holding a little tiny bird, I think, and this little brother is looking at it. Here's another one of these envelopes and frames I made.
Yeah. And
there's another flap and I made that flap and that flap. So I have double flaps. That's what, and then these are envelopes that I've cut down, and another. And let's see, I don't have anything in there. Another tag, another one of my vintage pages. And the last, you see, there should have been a third sheet here, and that's when I messed up right here. And I have to glue this down to make those pockets. But again, this is meant to be open on the top, so you can take that out. And then she glued this, the orientation of the tab she had on the outside. I liked it on the inside, so I don't think you can put it any way you want,
Yeah. That's cool.
That came out. And then Carol's the one that I used the Stabilo on this, and I used water to activate it. And then Carol said that you can activate it, put the Stabilo down and activate it with a little bit of clear gesso. So I did that on the top one. And by activating it with the clear gesso, it also seals it. So now it's not going to move because it's sealed with clear gesso. And I kind of like the line is not as blurry. I mean, it's two different looks, I think. Can you guys see the difference in the way they look? Or is it too subtle?
No,
You can tell.
one is a smidge blurrier.
Yeah, this one's blurrier, and this is the one with the gesso. And there's some more butterflies. I really got great use out of that one napkin.
That's cool. Now I know what to do. Or I can think it till I make it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this is the end, and that'll be 2 more pockets. And now I have mushrooms to put in because Becky sent me mushrooms. So that's and then I'm going to cover it. And I was telling Carol, I think what I'm going to cover it with is canvas. I bought a painter's canvas drop cloth, a gigantic piece of it. And I think that a canvas book cover would look really cool. It would kind of look like grungy. And I'll maybe dirty it up a little bit. And I think I'll just, since my cover is in pretty good shape, I think I might just glue it down. Just glue the canvas right directly onto this. Because this is, and there's several pages. There's like 3 or 4 pages from the book glued to this. And my canvas is kind of on the coarse side. but I'm going to try to maybe stamp on it. But we'll see. Yeah, you also can use matte medium. That's what the matte medium or gesso. That's how it is. Painting. Yeah. But I've been working on this for what, ladies? 3 weeks?
You're catching up.
I know. I'm working real hard there to catch
But
up.
it's so beautiful, though. I mean, the detail is amazing.
Oh,
It is.
You have gone above and beyond on all your journals.
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
We may harass you, but we love you.
I know. Well, harassment's good, you know. Yeah, Carol's been giving me a hard time. She says, "Are you done yet?" Carol had a little smaller book than I did, so I've been trying.
Yeah, and I didn't do details.
So
I didn't do details.
yeah, you did some really neat stuff. I think it's just a fun thing. And again, I'll say, you're probably bored of hearing me say this, but I was so intrigued the fact that she was doing this to a paperback book. I didn't. Now she does reinforce, Becky. She will, at certain parts in the process of gutting the book, she will reinforce it with tape.
Okay.
If
I was wondering about that, but that makes sense.
Yeah. But you'll see it in the video. And what she used is a medical surgical paper tape, but you could use masking tape.
I think I have some of that medical tape in the first.
That's good. I actually bought some, and it's really cool. I've used it to reinforce. This thing here is very old and very brittle, and as soon as I bent it, it cracked. So I used that paper tape, and it's just, this is it right here. And I just put some ink on it, but you can barely see it, but that's the tape right there. And it looks like this, but it's paper. It's called surgical paper tape.
Yeah.
It's very handy. It's very thin, but it's very strong. So,
And
any
does she
questions?
add extra glue to that too?
No, actually, no, she didn't. When she put the medical tape down, no, she just put it down and just pushed it down real hard. She's a great pusher. She does a hard pushing.
All right.
Probably, but that, for these purposes, if it yellows with time, that would be even better.
Yeah. It would add to the vintageness.
Yes, the vintage of it. So again, when working on something like this, and in the art chat room on Thursday, we share so much information with one another. It's just it's because it's such a small intimate gathering, and it's so great to say, gee, what do you think about this? And someone will say, well, gee, you could do that, and it's just a wonderful sharing of ideas. And
Yeah.
Arlene says, I use strips of paper grocery bags. Yeah, that's yep. That's good stuff too. Just cut it in strips and glue it. Yeah.
Remember when we used to have to use the paper grocery sacks to protect our school books?
Yes.
Everybody was required to cover their books.
Yeah. They still are. They still are. I mean, I used to have a day at school because I love covering books, and I would tell my students, I'm talking high school seniors. I'd said, if you bring me a paper bag, I'll cover your textbook for you, because they had to have them covered, and I would cover textbooks, and then you could decorate them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then someone came out with some stretchy, you could buy
that stuff.
And they were horrible, because if you didn't buy the right size and they were too small, they would break the binding on the books, and they didn't really protect the books at all. Not the way those kids throw those textbooks in lockers and stuff like that. They were beaten up. But the paper bag, that was the best. I had one student that covered her bed. She was a very artistic, creative soul. And she took one of those gift bags. It has the handles, and she covered her book in such a way that she could use the handles to carry the textbook.
Oh, how cool.
It was really cool.
Smart kid.
Uh-huh. And an incredible artist. She was really a really good artist.
Well, I hope she uses her art then if she was that good at it
I hope so.
and doesn't, you know how life does you.
Yeah.
When you find your art again when you're in your 50s.
Yeah. Oh, here's another specimen. I had some. Whoops. Oh, let me make us all.
Outline on this
I have a couple specimens that are two-sided because I had the same thing, so I glued
I
them together.
bought some of Deb's. I cheated
Oh yeah.
at Keisha's. I got 2 of Deb's. And I think
Uh-huh.
Deb sent me some too. So
Yeah. Let me put us all three. Here we are. Okay.
there's Joyce. Good morning, Joyce.
There's
And Shannon.
Shannon. Good morning, Shannon. Now Shannon is art junkie.
Art junkie.
Yes.
Art
Okay.
junkie.
And Joyce. Joyce is here.
Crap.
And Arlene's still hanging in there. That's great. So nice to see all of you. Thank you so much for stopping by. So if anybody has any questions, ask them. I'm gonna. I buy these. I bought a whole bunch of these plastic bags, and they're great when you're cleaning up. I just throw everything in this, and then it's all in one place. And here's the beautiful mushroom stamps that Becky sent me that arrived yesterday. So these are going in the book today. Did you do this? Or was
What?
that already done? Highlight the mushrooms?
Oh, I highlighted that where the definition of the mushroom was.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. I thought,
I did
wow,
that.
that's really a coincidence if that. I figured you did that.
Yeah, I did that. So you could see that the definition was there.
Yeah. Well, I bought those. Is it the alphabet stamps, the things with the little stickers that have the alphabet on them? I think you had them. I bought them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know, Ian.
I'll show you. I know. I feel the same way. I have no idea.
I'm lucky I know it's Saturday. It's Sunday. Hell. See, I don't
Well,
even know.
last week I thought Saturday was Sunday. And I was ready to put my garbage out when I realized nobody had put their garbage out. And then I realized, wait a minute.
Yes, I'm done.
These dictionaries.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are fun. Yeah.
They are. I didn't describe them. What did I say? Alphabet? I was not alphabet.
Definitions. Yeah.
Definitions.
Yeah, I
Oh,
found
no,
those
Lily. No, don't you dare. See, she heard you, Becky. It's Becky.
It's my fault. Hi, Lily. Tippy came to say hi. He said, I'm done, apparently. But
Yeah, we have a standing joke that Lily starts looking to be fed when we're together. And I think it's when she hears Becky's voice that she thinks it's time to eat.
Shannon says she got some mulberry paper today. I think I have some mulberry paper in my stash somewhere.
I have some. It's really cool. It's very bumpy.
It is. It would go good in your journal too, because it's almost like a mossy feel.
Yeah, you know what? Where can I put it in the journal? Make a tag out of it, maybe?
Or even if you, on one of the pages that you fold a 1/2 inch in, you could add just a strip of it to that,
'Yep. 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 'Yep And I will. Here it is. It came beautifully packaged when I got it.
Absolutely nothing, Malia. He
Yeah, you
got
see,
up.
I've already. This is the thing it came in, and I've already cut into the cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got this beautiful wooden button. I guess I've used quite a bit of it.
I had some that was kind of a mossy green that was the same texture as that
Yeah.
outside cover you have there.
Yeah, this is really textured. You can
It
see
is.
the leaves. I guess. Yeah, look at that.
You could probably take some of that, crumple it up, and apply it to a green just paper. I don't know if that would work or not. I'd use a small piece and try it out. Don't you want to go see Dad so I can work on my thing, Tippy?
Is that what you got? Okay, the same thing you got, Shannon? Yeah. And I also got some linen paper, and there was some other kind of paper that Kathy Berg enabled me to get, the paper that they were using.
Oh, gosh.
That's kind of. And I guess this is, what you do is you just take, it's not onion paper, but you take super thin paper, right, and lay stuff, and then lay paper on top of it, and then glue it together, I guess.
Well, I think they do that in the process with the paper pulp.
Yeah. Because if you opened this, you could probably get that. If you tore that open, you could get to that leaf because it seems right on the surface.
Yeah.
But look at this. This is really textured.
What a spoiled baby, Becky.
Look at you. Just like that. He just decided he's going to be rockabye baby.
Yeah. This is what happens.
I love this button.
It's rotten. Let's get that goop out your eyeball. It's gross. Gross.
Now, Shannon, do you have plans for yours? Yeah, layering for journaling. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I think Malay is talking about her girls because they are hysterical.
You could go see Dad.
They are very, very funny, and I'm sure they don't mean to be funny. They're being very serious when they tell you. But they are funny.
All right, come on. I'm gonna put you in the window. You can watch the blue jay.
All righty. I think I am going to stick this. I know where. Let's see. Right here.
Let's see how long that lasts.
Stick a strip here. That would be pretty. Maybe let's see. But you can almost see it's got like wiggly stuff in it too. So that in this essence here kind of looks like a little like rice paper, but it's not. Oh, Lily. Do your cats, my cat, when I'm putting groceries away, I throw the plastic bags on the floor, and I'm always afraid, and she always puts her head in the bags, and I'm always afraid she's going to suffocate herself. Like, they tell you a warning for kids, but there should be pet warnings too. She always has her head in the paper bag, in the plastic bag.
We had a cat that would play, and I could just throw the bag and he'd jump and catch it. But these cats, they're terrified of bags. Trash bag, grocery bag, they just take off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're terrified of them.
My cat love paper bags. Oh my gosh, that's as good as a box. Oh my gosh. I hit a
Ah.
twig. It was hard to cut through. It was a twig.
Shannon wants to know what you're making, Becky.
I'm working on my zine for Janet Young's swap that she's got going. And I'm trying to do the outlines, just kind of sketchy outlines with a big pen, but they are not liking going over Prisma pencils.
Big pens are usually pretty good.
Yeah. I just have to keep cleaning the tip off so that it'll.
Well, I've picked my story.
You did?
I did. Because it's
interesting to see all the different stories that people
this
do.
is one of those. This is one of the weird ones. Not that they're all not all weird, but this is one of the weirder ones. And, it's on the shorter side, and let's see. Again, it was written by Charles Perrault. Charles Perrault is Mother Goose.
Yeah.
So he's the guy that wrote. And it's called, and it's been, I've heard this story in different versions of it, but this is the original. And it's called The Ridiculous Wishes. So that's
oh, that sounds cool.
And it's not that long. I've printed it out. It's like here, right?
Uh-huh.
Here. And here.
Okay.
So it's pretty short. So now I have to, write it and then break it into 8 squares. And because the illustrating is going to be hard for me. Because I can't find any illustrations that I can kind of, follow.
Oh.
Bye, Arlene.
Bye, Arlene. Thank you
Arlene.
for hanging in there as long as you did. Thank you so much for being here, and rest and take care of yourself, okay? I mean, there is an illustration in the one I saw online, but it's kind of like I can't describe it. It's not an illustration that would be considered like a normal illustration. It's kind of a weird illustration, if that makes. The story itself is weird, but anyway. I think this will fit into. We've got basically 8 squares, right?
Yeah.
And really, the title page could be considered 1 square if you didn't want to start the story on the first page, I guess. Yeah. And all these stories always seem to be woodcutters. They always seem to be in the woods and woodcutters. But this is a little kind of Greek because he's up on Mount Olympus and Jupiter comes down and talks to him. So that's the one I'm going to do. And I found that in the it's called the National Archives. Oh, Lily's got the zoomies.
Uh-oh. Zoomy time.
I don't think you could hear her, but she's also.
Yeah, I heard her talking.
She's talking and zooming. I was telling my son that she had the zoomies. He said he'd actually heard that expression before. I said, oh.
Yeah. Howard gets zoomies when we're trying to go to sleep.
Of course.
And he weighs 16 pounds. So when he hits a wall, the whole house shakes, Oh my He just wipes things out.
That's Loca. Loca does the zoomies.
Yep.
Well, Lily will be laying next to me in bed, and then she decides to get out and she wants to jump over me. But she lands on me, and nothing like a paw, like right in my boob. It's like, oh God. Oh,
Yep.
that's. And of course, I have a glass of water by my bedside, and because she has to partake of my water.
Oh yeah. Or stick their paws in it. Why do they have to stick their paws? It's like
No, at least she doesn't do that. Thank God.
if there's an ice cube in it, it's going to get dunked.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I don't put ice in mine, and I've got a jug now.
Mm-hmm. We had canaries when I was growing up, and they were named Blue Boy. How original, right? Blue Boy. Mm-hmm. And I had a rabbit named Thumper, so we weren't very original when we named the pets. But Blue Boy, he would be allowed out of his cage, and he would fly around the house. And my grandparents were visiting from Rhode Island, and my grandfather they were out on the porch, and my grandfather had a highball, a drink, a tall glass, like
Greg.
with ice and whatever, probably scotch and water or something, in a tall glass. And Blue Boy came and perched on the rim of the glass and then fell in.
Oh, gee.
So they had to pull him out by his tail. I have a picture of Tiger sitting on the table, and I had my vodka and on the rocks in a glass, and he was sitting, and his tail was in my drink. And he didn't even know his tail was in my drink. And I posted it, and the caption was "shaken or stirred," and it was just him sitting there.
That's funny.
Oh goodness.
That's so cool.
He wasn't aware that his tail was wet. Nothing. He was just sitting there, totally oblivious. Oh, that was funny last night, Becky. Oh my gosh.
You were just a fussing, and I'm like, what did I do?
And I heard this voice, and I'm going, who's that? And I knew that. And I had just kind of cursed Lily out because she had tripped me up. Or it's really not her fault. I pay attention. I mean, I really do, because I'm very, I'm always looking down when I'm walking, and she just got in front of me as I was going into the kitchen, and I think I said, I don't know, something to Lily, and all of a sudden I hear this voice, what? And I'm going, what? And I had called Becky. I'd put my phone in my pocket and inadvertently called Becky. So Becky heard me cussing out poor Lily. And then I guess Carol, that was part of the.
Yeah.
Like you were in on that. I don't know whether you heard any of it, but you were in on it, and Becky explained it to you, right? That I was.
Yeah, it was.
I think Carol was on the phone when you.
I was on the phone, but it rang.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Book number 2.
Oh, good.
Oh, cute.
Oh, let me make you big. Hang on.
See, now that could be your Zentangle book.
So
Oh, I love the cover.
this was a Zentangle
Yeah.
thingy. It was one of my doodle pages.
See what great recycling. That is so cool.
So it has the Zentangle on the top, but it's the Coptic stitch. And there's the back.
Oh, that's great. And you can leave you left the binding open in the back.
Yep.
Perfect. And people can see the stitching. Hi, Barbara.
Yeah, and I thought you could put beads or something on these little tiny dangles.
Yeah.
With it.
And hi, Melody.
Yeah,
That came out really good.
and I'll put a cover on this one
Yeah.
side because, well, I used the back side of this for Yes Paste, so
It's sticking.
I will put something else to cover that so it doesn't stick, or I'll just take and glue down one of these pages.
Oh, that came out good. And how much you could make another book, right? And use the rest of that paper, that doodle paper, for another
Yes,
cover.
yes.
You got enough for another 2 cover, right? For the books.
Oh, for the little ones, yeah.
Yeah.
For the little ones, yeah. I should have put the cover directly on with this one too, but I didn't. So
You could probably also do the baby powder trick on the part that's sticky.
Well, the
Oh,
cornstarch or baby powder might work.
Yeah. That's what I do. Take the sticky
Oh.
away.
yeah, we'll have lots of little sketchbooks, writing books, whatever books.
Mm-hmm. That came out
And I'm
really
using
cute.
the waxed linen, so it's
Mhm.
not going anywhere.
No.
Not coming loose. My fingers are, it's so sweaty in here. It's just unbelievable. My air conditioning is not working.
Oh no.
It's slow. It's like something's wrong with it, I think.
Hey Deb.
So my hands are swelling up and
Mm.
it's humid. They always
You
sweat.
mad?
Look, I love my little book. Look at that.
Yeah. It came out
Mindy
adorable.
says, where'd you get the paper again, Carol? It was from a big book that she
It
had.
was from art something. It was a big hardbound book, 600-page book, and it's a 95-pound white paper. So it's pretty good for doing just about anything. And I tore. There's some straight edges on the bottom, but most of them are just torn on the edge. I just used the ruler and tore them because I didn't mind having the rough edge. I think it gives it character.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I would have left. I would have. Yeah, I would have left the rough
And
edge.
it made the process
Yeah.
go a lot quicker.
And the thing is, you put the rough edges on the outside, so it looks like it was intentional.
Yes, yes. So
That was
it
the
came out
plan.
pretty good.
Oh,
It's very snug. It's not wobbly or anything really.
no.
So
Well, it looks like you've done a little bit of Coptic stitching in the past.
yes, I have. Yes, I have. It's my favorite stitch. That and
Yeah,
the pamphlet stitch.
All right.
Those two are my
Yeah,
favorite.
it looks like that. It's evident that that's kind of a stitch that you're comfortable doing.
Yeah. So they came out really well.
You did. Yeah. They're adorable.
I think I need to go back and watch Tanya from last weekend because I think she put the postcards together because I saw Barbara Clark.
Oh, she did. I like that stitch too. That's
Yes.
great single pages. Great
Yes.
single pages.
I watched her do that. Yeah. But I didn't exchange that many postcards. So I think I'll just put them in various journals because I've got 5 postcards.
Well, I came across some that were sent to me at other times. I'm going to include with.
Oh, that's a
Ones I
good
got.
idea. Yeah, I could do that if I could find them.
Yeah, I put my postcards on my scroll. So yeah, otherwise I could have.
Oh yeah, I've got yeah.
That's where I put mine. So I could
Yeah.
take it apart and put them all together.
No, I have that's right. I think I have 2 or 3 postcards on my scroll. Yep.
So
That's one way to fill up the scroll page.
yes, it is. That's why I put them on there for
Yeah.
certain ones because I didn't have, it's not that I didn't have, but I have other things going on that it was easier to fill my July with my postcard rather than,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and then I don't lose them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're there for posterity.
Yep.
I got a postcard. I got a cloth postcard from I think it was Julia. It was one of the London, I think Julia.
Yeah, Julia was in there.
And I peeled the paper off of the cloth postcard. So I was able to put just the cloth part of the paper, the postcard rather. I pulled the paper part of the postcard away from if that makes any sense. But
Melody, no, I do not, but I could. Maybe I'll do an impromptu during the week.
Sounds good.
yeah,
We'll just pick a spot and say, okay, come on, guys, let's go.
well, it's kind of like it's like parallel parking. You drive around, and then you see a spot, and then you kind of parallel park. You kind of
There it is. We're done. You can put everybody back up now.
okay.
LOL. When there's a parallel parking situation, I drive around until one opens that I can just drive straight in. I don't
Me
parallel.
too, Becky.
Right.
I hate
I know.
parallel parking.
Well, that was the most terrifying part of the driver's license exam was the
It
parallel
was.
parking part.
Yeah,
They don't
that's why I
make the kids
failed
do that
first.
anymore. They don't have to parallel park. They just have to diagonal park diagonally. But where our kids were learning to drive upstate New York, there were no curbs. So we used to have to go downtown Jamestown to find a curb so they could practice parallel parking because we didn't have any curbs anywhere.
Yep. Well, I didn't learn to drive until I'd moved south.
Well, you kind of, you were out on the farm. You didn't need to.
Well, women didn't need to drive in that where I was.
Right. Yeah.
Growing up with your grandmother, you're raised old school.
Yeah, I bet. That had to have been very difficult.
Yeah.
Did you
But I
realize?
learned a lot.
Yeah, well, you learned about life. I mean, because let's face it, you learn about birth and death on a farm.
Yep.
It's all around you.
Yep. And
Animals
nothing
come and
we went
go.
to waste. We used everything until it couldn't be used anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one thing I can't stand still to this day, and Scott laughs about it every single time. It's the little chips of soap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it gets down to where it's just a sliver, we would used to grind those with a grater and use them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand them. When they get too thin to handle and they break in my hands, I usually throw them in the trash. And Scott's like, that's good soap. And I'm like, you don't understand how much soap I have ground already in my lifetime that I have no desire.
That's right.
And then he's going, well, I wonder if Amazon sells a press that you could put those in and press them together. And I'm like,
he's asking for it. Oh, he was asking for it. Well, what I do when it gets really thin, I try to stick it to the next bar.
Yeah, that's what Scott does. And then
And
it
have
falls
it kind of melt in. Yeah.
Yeah. He's in there. Shouldn't throw it away.
Well, my father remembers that when he was growing up, that if they got like oranges or fruit that was wrapped in tissue paper, that tissue paper was in the bathroom to be used as toilet paper.
Yeah, sounds right. Oh, this part makes my fingers hurt.
You really took on an intense border.
Yeah, but it looks cool.
It does. It looks awesome. I don't know why I would waste that. Why would I put that there? No one's going to see it. So stop. Stick it somewhere else. Stick it somewhere else. Oh, I could put it here. That would be pretty. Okay.
Well, hopefully I can have this done and mailed off to Janet. I think I still have her address somewhere, but I have her email if I can't find it.
I have it somewhere too. I don't know where though.
I have one address book that's labeled YouTube and Facebook connections.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where y'all get stuck.
Yep.
Because I don't want to go through 3 or 4 groups trying to find everybody.
Right. And Janet Young wouldn't be in any of those groups anyway.
Yeah, that's true. She doesn't do those.
Yeah. Well, I have a little green book it's pretty full now. But I've got prompts in here, testing out watercolor.
I started a little journal just for swatching, but then I forget I have it.
Here's Rosemary's Carols, Colleen's address. I've Dee Dee's address. Here are the prompts from Caged Fish's scavenger hunt. I wrote those in here. This is notes on the game. Pieces. Let's see. Bingo numbers. I had a bingo stamp, so when I was playing bingo, I figured, well, I just use the numbers off the bingo stamp. They didn't work. They weren't good.
When Greg was 16, he would go to the bingo parlor and sit there with all the little old ladies. And they'd say, "You need to get more than one card.
Aw.
Here, you need a marking pen."
Yeah, you need a dauber, and you need bingo chips, and you need and you need your little good luck troll.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fire department that I was a volunteer at, they had bingo every Monday. And that's how they made money. That was their fundraiser.
Yeah.
And they'd come by the busloads from Jamestown. And man, some of those people were serious. Man, oh man, oh man. They had all the daubers and the cards, and they had the plastic chips to put on the card, the reusable cardboard, and they had metal in them, so they had a magnetic wand, so they could sweep across and pick up all of the bingo chips in one swoop, and then be ready for the next round. Serious stuff. Because back in those days you could smoke, so oh my God, you could cut the air. It was disgusting. You could barely breathe. And I was a bingo caller. B2 G37. You're going too slow. You're going too fast. And I'm mumbling under my breath.
Yeah, in Green, they have the Labor Day picnic where I grew up, and they had a bingo tent. And kids would walk by and holler, "Bingo!" And the caller would say, "I think we have a bingo."
Oh, no. I had all those fancy ones, 4 corners and square in the middle, and actually the Indian, well, I think they still do, but the Indian reservations had big bingo payouts.
Wow.
I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah, Gail said I'd like to do bingo again, get all of the pandemic stuff first. Yeah. It's kind of fun if you have like your own group of friends and you're all hanging out, sitting together, and BSing and not taking it too seriously. Some of these folks are serious bingo folks.
Oh, and they get so mad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got a booger on the end, and now I picked up cat hair. Awesome.
Okay. All right.
These Costco get little nubs on the end of them.
All righty. I got some mulberry paper in there. I added that. Now let's go add some shrooms. Let's put a shroom on this card. That'll be pretty. Oh, I love the fact that you gave me one of these things from the dictionary. I love those.
Oh,
That's cool. This paper tears so beautifully. Oh,
I forgot I had a dictionary, and I said, "Ooh, let's see if mushroom's still in there," and I'll give her the definition of a mushroom too.
yeah. I have a dictionary too that I can tear up, but it's buried, so it's not. I'd have to literally be a contortionist to get to it. The where I
Oh,
have stuck it. And you put stuff away,
yep.
it's under something in the box under something.
Around the corner.
Around the corner. It's under this. It's under this work table that's attached to the craft box. And
Oh,
it's really, yeah.
you said you can't really close that up right now.
No, 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 no. I think I've closed it. Oh man, there's so much stuff I would have to move in order to close this. It would be, yeah, really hard. Yeah, that's not happening. Unfortunately, my grandsons are big enough, that it doesn't have to be closed. I don't have to worry about them getting into it. They actually like to sit here and craft, so it works out really well. My grandson was showing me his Legos. He was building he's built a whole city.
Oh, cool.
And it's just all mixed match Legos. It's not the Lego kits that make cities or things. It's just
His creativity.
his creations, and he's got a skyscraper that's blue, yellow, green. It's got all these colors, and then he's got some of the stuff that he's chosen to put in. His younger brother insisted that he have a museum, so he's got a museum in his little town. Some other really funny stuff so I got the tour. Talk about being seasick. You don't want to give a phone camera to a kid because he's flipping all over the place, and I'm like, oh my god,
Slow down.
slow down. And we just got a Lego train, and that's going to go around the town.
You can always tell him Grandma walks slower.
Yeah. He would understand that, yeah. Oh, but he's got a real eye. He makes stop motion little movies. He and I started doing that.
That's cool.
He and I started doing that years ago. And he would move the pieces. We'd do like a stop action soccer game with little soccer guys he has. And he would set up the play, and then he would move them a half an inch, and I'd take a picture, and then he'd move them another quarter inch, and I'd take a picture, and we'd put it all together.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was cool. And so he's built a sports stadium too. It's called the Reed Center. And he's got the locker rooms, and he's got the rooms for the referees, and he's got the parking space for the Zambonis, and it's very elaborate. And he's got every type of. He's got the Lego people. He's got other toy figures. It's just a whole bunch of different figures from all different sets. I'm
My
glad
understanding the different little people can sometimes be worth a lot of money.
that's what someone was telling me that. I guess it was Penny, Nettie's sister-in-law, who's the Lego aficionado. She's the one that has all these. They are, yeah. And even Reed was telling me that they were worth money. My oldest son had a huge Lego collection. I think I told you. It filled one of my dad's Navy footlockers that were made out of wood when he was in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
It was filled to the top with Legos. And David finally has relinquished those to his nephews. Took him a while.
Yeah.
But
I
so
think
that's
that
what.
my gotten all his stuff, all his Legos. I saved everything for him, so he has all his.
Yep.
I put a cover on the little book.
Let me see. Let me make you big.
Oh, cute.
Where are you? There you are. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, I love it.
So now it's finished. I
Yes.
just did the Coptic stitch to put it on. I just added it on. So
It looks great. It looks perfect.
yeah, now you've got all these little stringy things. But yeah, they're both done now.
Look at you.
Two
You made,
down, another one to go.
you made 2 books. That's awesome. Very awesome. And that doodle page has really served you well. You've gotten a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah. I'll probably get at least another 2 out of it, I think.
Easily. But it's so cool. Oh, yeah. Well, look. Well, you get that middle size. Yeah. Well, you could do if you made another book that was like maybe a 6 by, that must be a 12 by 12 sheet initially.
It was, yeah. So now it's smaller. So now
You
it's
could get, if you did a 6 by 6, if you made a 6 by 6 book, you could get a 6 by 6 cover.
yeah, it's
5
maybe
by 5.
5 by 5 or 4
I
and a half.
see. Okay, 4 by 4. Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah.
Ava was making another new book, and I was watching her this morning, and oh my gosh, it was so complicated,
Oh
and
no.
it started out of a 6 by 9 envelope.
Oh boy. So is that on our next agenda?
Oh, it might be. It might be. And she called it a
Thank you, Melody.
traveler's notebook.
Or
Mhm.
a traveler's notebook?
Yeah.
That's this size.
Yep. And that's 6 1, but she's made her own thing.
This is a 9 by 4 3/4 now.
Yeah, hers is 6 by 9. She uses a lot of envelopes as the basis of her things, and there are a lot of times they're the European size, and they're like white. I have the orangey colored 6 by 9 envelopes, but I don't have the white ones and with a window in it. So if I did that, I would have to just modify it. Yeah, that dragon's adorable.
Yeah.
He looks cool. Very happy fellow. Very happy. It came out really good. Well, I got all that Bauhaus stuff that's coming, and that's gonna be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that stuff.
I know. I was hoping it would come like yesterday, but that's gonna be, that'll be Alice worthy.
Melody has a tattoo of the dragon.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Well, ladies, it's almost 11.
Yes, it
All
is.
right.
And we got a lot done. At least, Carol got a lot done. Becky got a lot done. I got some gluing done, and Sharon. So we did some Sharon and gluing and bookmaking.
Lena's saying she can send you some European-sized envelopes if you'd like.
Oh, no, I don't want you to. No, you don't have to worry about it. Not with the postage the way it is. But thank you so much. That's the A4 9 by 11. Yep. I can make. I mean, I've got the American size, and it's only the difference is only what, a half an inch, like 11 by 9. No, what is it, 9 by 12? Anyway, I'm good.
Out
I
of these
didn't get a darn thing done.
Out of these big ones, this is a 9 by
12.
9 by 12.
9 by 12. Yeah. No, she's using a smaller size. She's using this last thing she just did was a 6 by 9, which is this size.
Oh, we can't see you. We just see Carol.
Oh, well, let me do this.
Thank you, Janet.
Yeah, the 6 by 9 is like this, like this. It's a smaller envelope. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Yes, Deb is on at 5 o'clock Eastern this afternoon, so if you can go over. I got hung up with my son last Sunday, so I was.
Bohemian crafting, Mitzi.
I'm sorry.
Ann's asking who Ava was. It's Bohemian crafting.
Yes, I'm sorry, Ava. Yes, Bohemian. Her name is Ava, but her YouTube channel is Bohemian Crafting. And if you want to see a link of how she did this, again, those are in my art hangout page. But if you just go to YouTube and search Bohemian Crafting, she's got tons of content out there. I mean, she's got a Patreon channel, but she's got tons of other stuff that's out there for everybody. So she's she's very, very productive. She has something every week. And she mostly makes journals with flip flops. She's a big flip flopper and pockets and pockets and pockets and pockets. This is kind of her style. Well, thank you everybody for being here. It was so wonderful for everybody to get up early. I just kind of crawled out of. Did a load of wash. Started a load of wash. So that's a start for the day. Now I don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
Becky, do you want to do a quick flip through?
Yeah, I can do a quick flip. I just finished the turkey that married them.
Okay. Oh, let's see the Parson turkey art. There's the couple.
There they are, the pea green boat. There, he's singing to her.
Oh, so cute.
There's the piggy wig. And the turkey that married them lived on the hill.
Oh, that's great.
So.
And then the last page will be them sailing off into the sunset or looking at the
No,
moon?
they've got to eat. On this page, they'll be eating their quince pie or mince pie and slices of quince.
Okay.
And then on the back, they'll be dancing to the light of the moon. Would you guys?
Okay. Oh, that's where that expression comes from, dancing to the light of the moon.
Yeah. There you go.
And quince. They used to grow quince on that farm I worked on in outside of Gettysburg. That's really very, very tart.
Yeah. So this is for Janet Young's swap. So if you're in that swap, you might get a copy.
Yeah, yeah.
Depending on who she pairs us up with.
I like the way she does it. Then you don't have to worry about, you just send them all to her and then she just distributes them.
Yep.
I like that way of doing it. And it's open to internationals because she said that she'll pay for the postage for internationals if internationals. So I hope Miss Lena, I think she was talking about it, whether she was going to do it or not. And it's due September 15th.
Yeah.
Oh, so
to her, not in the mail.
To her. Yeah.
She made that very clear.
Right. And a self-addressed envelope so you can get one.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to need bigger than a self-addressed envelope to get.
I don't know. They're folded down. You have to fold them.
Right. Yeah. You get 5 back, right? You send off 6 and you get 5 back.
Yeah, because your one goes to her for being the hostess with mostest.
Right. And there's Carol showing. Look at all. Oh my gosh! Look at all that you got done.
Yeah,
those little ones are perfect to slide in your purse or bag when you go out for a day or something.
Yeah. And then when you take that out and to take a note, people go, "Ooh, where'd you get that? That's so cute."
And then the one that's having issues.
Yeah. Thank you, Janet, for putting Janet Young's email in there. Thank you so much. Or YouTube. Yep.
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you
and
so much.
Janet Young did say that if you aren't on Facebook, to contact her on Instagram.
Yeah, she's very rarely on Facebook. And I
Yeah.
guess she's Janet Merle or MERLE on Instagram.
Yeah. See, I don't know.
That's what the M stands for. Janet
Yeah.
M. Young is Merle, MERLE. Janet Merle.
All right. Well, I'm going to go feed the husband.
Yep, I'm gonna go feed the beast here and do my laundry.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Becky, for keeping me company. I so appreciate you being here.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye. I'll remember to end the broadcast.